What's new this month at Rogers Railroad Junction? With the holidays over and the new year in full swing, things are moving in new and exciting directions here at the store, as they are with Athearn, who is continuing with recent upgrades to their ready-to-roll line. First up, SD40 diesels with full digital sound. Built with many road-specific details, including rooftop strobe lights for Santa Fe units and oversized pilot plows for the Southern Pacific, realistic lighting, freestanding grab irons, see-through grillwork, and a 5-pole motor with dual flywheels are all standard equipment for this up-and-coming line of low-cost, feature-heavy power from one of the oldest manufacturers in the modeling game. First delivered by EMD 50 years ago this month, the venerable SD40 has long since earned its place in the annals of railroad history. Over 1,200 of these 3,000 horsepower beasts were ultimately produced, with many units still in service even today, nearly a half-century after they first rolled out of the shops at McCook, Illinois. And, always reluctant to be outdone, Broadway Limited is starting the new year off with SW 1500 switchers. The most powerful EMD switcher to date, when first released during the summer of 1966, these 1,500 horsepower yard goats were both stout and versatile. And with the addition of optional Flexicoil trucks, could pull double duty as road switchers too. Ultimately, over 800 units would be produced, making it easily one of the most popular switching locomotives of all time. Delivered by Broadway with their acclaimed Paragon 2 integrated digital control system, a 5-pole skew-wound motor with back EMF control, realistic lighting, separately applied detail parts, and 3 selectable horn sounds are all standard features. Perfect for the knock-around work that every rail yard is known for. But of course, not being ones to leave the envelope unpushed if they can help it, Broadway is continuing their New Year's rollout with the introduction of their much-anticipated Rolling Thunder sound system. And the first locomotives to carry this revolutionary equipment are SD7 and SD9 diesels of GM's Electromotive division. Originally built as 6-axle variants of pre-existing 4-axle locomotives in the EMD catalog, their 2 additional traction motors made them ideal for hauling heavy freight, and their special duty designation was eventually reclassified to standard duty, as they and their mechanical progeny slowly replaced the 4-axle units that they had originally evolved from. Noted for their stout reliability, these units also featured EMD's patented Flexicoil trucks, which provided a soft ride reminiscent of many luxury automobiles being produced by parent company General Motors at the time. It was a notable characteristic, and eventually earned these machines the nickname of Cadillacs. Featuring all the quality and detail that you've come to expect from Broadway Limited, these units also feature the revolutionary new Rolling Thunder system. Now, a wireless connection to a concealed subwoofer allows for the lower frequency, gut-thrumming sounds that characterize real trains, and yet have always been impossible for the small speakers within scale models to reproduce. Finally, realism that you can not just see and hear, but feel as well. Moving on to Walthers, 40-foot boxcars are available in their mainline series. Responsible for the bulk of America's general freight shipments from the 1920s to the 1960s, these products of the Pullman Standard Company were some of the most commonplace cars ever to run on rails. They're a versatile and flexible sort of car, which pair nicely with 53-foot trailer flat cars, also from the Walthers mainline family. featuring loading ramps, rub rails, and pop-up trailer stands just like the prototypes. Cars such as this mirrored the rise in popularity of so-called piggyback service for express freight shipments during the mid-1950s. All mainline models feature 33-inch blackened metal wheels, metal knuckle couplers, and optimized weighting for worry-free operation. Turning back to Athearn, 2 new cars are in the offering from their Genesis line. First up, 50-foot modern boxcars. Built with extended draft gear, wire mesh crossover platforms, separate air hoses, and full underbody detail, these cars are typical of those found on manifest trains from the 1970s up until the present day. Featuring metal wheels, knuckle couplers, and a wide variety of liveries ranging from main lines, to short lines, to fallen flags, and to whatever the heck this outfit is. Also, Genesis is offering an addition to their lineup of 40-foot sound-equipped stock cars. Joining the ranks of the cattle and pig cars now serenading many a layout, brain mules are joining the band as well. Powered directly from the track and equipped with the latest in digital sound effects, Genesis offers a level of ambiance that was unimaginable even just a few short years ago. Sprinkle a handful of these cars throughout any livestock train and have a consist that's convincing to all the senses. Or you can pair it with a Ringling Brothers Circus Train elephant car and have your very own presidential election. But be sure to shovel out all the campaign promises when you're done. Returning to the ready-to-roll line, Athearn brings us home with several new rolling stock items of their very own, starting off with 30,000-gallon ethanol tank cars. Staples of the Midwestern landscape, where corn is king and the clean air movement is a cash cow, cars such as this routinely move millions of gallons of the environmentally friendly fuel additive every year. From the cornfields of the heartland to sprawling coastal refineries, these cars form a rolling pipeline that keeps American motorists on the road and keeps our urban airspace from becoming a soupy mess so thick that you could serve it with a melon scoop. Just try not to smoke around them, okay? Then there's 40-foot reefer cars for all your portable perishables and miscellaneous cold storage needs. First invented by Chicago-based meatpacking firms in the 1880s, refrigerated cars such as these allowed for the shipment of perishable cargoes to eastern markets without threat of spoilage, opening up large swaths of land to agricultural development and forever changing the face of the American economy. A common sight on many railroads from the 1920s through the 1960s. Additionally, we have 26-foot ore hoppers, both individually and as 4-car boxed sets. Occasionally referred to as ore jennies, one shouldn't let the diminutive size of these cars fool them. Pound for foot, these were some of the heaviest cars to be found on any railroad, operating in swarms wherever mining, smelting, or steel production was commonplace. Many Midwestern railroads boasted large fleets of these bulk haulers, including the Duluth, Mesabi, and Iron Range, which boasted the largest fleet of all. And finally, because something has to be last, cabooses, with both wide vision and offset cupolas. The perennial end of all freight trains up until the 1980s, when end-of-train devices showed up and thoroughly wrecked everything, cars of these designs were once common on many mainline and short-line railroads. Of course, all ready-to-roll models feature blackened metal wheels, knuckle couplers, freestanding grab irons, and razor-sharp paint. So don't miss out. Come on down and see what else the new year has brought, here at Rogers Railroad Junction today.